Are you ready to find out what kind of virtual assistant you can be depending on your past job experience? In this video, I'm gonna dive through kind of some common types of resumes that we've seen at 2XU, my virtual assistant agency, where people have applied no experience as a virtual assistant and basically what their job was before they became a virtual assistant. Just because you don't have any experience as a virtual assistant doesn't mean that you can't transfer the skills that you did in your last job into becoming a virtual assistant. Now, if you're someone with a BPO or business process outsourcing job where you worked probably like a call center, most commonly here in the Philippines, or you were a sales associate, you can easily be a sales support virtual assistant or a customer support virtual assistant. So it's essentially, if you've done this job basically just in an office and mostly doing calls or maybe responding through customer service questions through chat, that is easily something that you can do as a virtual assistant as well. You can also be someone who is a customer relationship manager, where you are taking care of current clients or current customers of your own client, making sure that if there's a funnel to follow of, let's say there's like a 3-month program or 6-month program, you're managing them through that funnel of whatever it is that they're going through or whatever they're creating. As a really good example is to say your client is a fitness coach and they have a 6-month program. So as the customer relationship manager, VA, you are the one helping them go through that process, maybe following up with them, checking on their progress, giving them some of the feedback or the assets basically from your client, so then they can keep moving forward. If you've been a receptionist or a front desk officer at a hotel, you can easily be an admin virtual assistant. And we've had people who did have experience in the hotel or restaurant industry before they applied to 2XU, where their skills, because you've learned how to be able to manage the recurring tasks, following processes, creating processes, becoming an admin VA is a little bit of an easier kind of shift, because then you can just transfer the skills you had in that job into this one. Another one is a client coordination virtual assistant. So let's say that you find a client who has basically doing things like events or retreats or anything like that. You're the one coordinating with their clients and making sure that they have what they need to be able to get to the event, get to the retreat, basically anywhere else that they need to go, and making sure that you're able to answer the questions that they might have, any specifics, and anything else that they would need during this event. If you've been a research assistant, of course, you can easily become a research virtual assistant or a content researcher. So you can easily just transfer your skills of knowing how to find information, how to make sure that that's the right information, and then creating a report about it. That's easily something that you can translate into, of course, becoming a researcher virtual assistant or someone who can research on a ton of content and be able to give your client a summarized version, an actionable version of what they can do next. Next is if you've been a teaching assistant or a teacher yourself. We do have a ton of virtual assistants who have that background. You can either be an educational content virtual assistant or an academic support virtual assistant. Basically, if you want to kind of stay on the same industry of the academics, you can kind of find clients who are looking for support in what it is that they're doing. You can be a virtual assistant for a professor, and I know a lot of people who have done that route. You can also be a virtual assistant for a school where they just need a little bit of online support. So you might be managing their website, you might be managing the students as they come in, answering questions as well. So there's a lot of different ways that you can still apply your teaching background to that. More commonly in 2XU, for a lot of our EAs who came from a teaching job, being an admin virtual assistant is also a strong point for them, because their clients know that they can handle a lot of things coming at them a lot of the time, and the planning skills that you've learned from that job is also a really important one that you can transfer into becoming a virtual assistant. If you've been a barista or restaurant staff, you can easily be a customer service VA or a hospitality management assistant, or even a property manager assistant. So this could be a range where you could be working with people who own Airbnbs or properties or different experiences, and you're helping them manage that. We've had assistants who even manage tours that are in Europe, and then they're able to manage the whole thing from booking to making sure that the people show up, making sure that there's a tour guide for them, managing reviews, basically that whole process of something that you've probably seen within your industry that you can then start applying as a virtual assistant. If you've never had an actual job and you are an intern, but you've done it in different fields, you can be a specialized virtual assistant. So depending on what you interned in, you can be specialized in that. So for example, for me, I actually interned as a journalist. So then for me, it was easy to translate that into a job in publishing, which I did. I became a book editor right after that. So that's something that I translated kind of more as a specialized virtual assistant. wasn't really a virtual assistant, was a book editor, but then that's what I mean. But you can translate whatever previous internship you got into being a VA specialized in that skill. Or you can also be a project coordinator, virtual assistant coming from an intern, just because most of the time when you're an intern, you kind of see everything, right? You're not always kind of just fully into this one thing. You're kind of asked to do different tasks and different things and different focus. And being more of a project coordinator, you're able to see things from that point of view and manage projects as they come and go. And if you've been a retail manager, you can either be an e-commerce assistant, basically working with someone who has products and services online and you're managing the customers and clients as they come in, or you can be an inventory management virtual assistant. We have a virtual assistant where they help their clients over Etsy, basically, of making sure that they have inventory. So either that they're working directly with the supplier or the person holding the actual products with them and making sure that they have the right information and the right inventory. And it's also managing the orders as they come in and making sure that they're always aligned on the website and on their spreadsheets and on their data so they can keep accurate accounts of what's there and what isn't there. Next, if you've been a junior accountant or you have experience working in banks, and we've had virtual assistants who've come in from working at a bank for years and years and years, you can be a bookkeeper VA or a financial planning assistant. So either way, you basically are still aligning your past skills and experiences to both, because then your client is just someone who's just virtual. They're not coming into the bank or basically into the office of wherever you worked at. They're basically people that you just one-on-one. This is your focus. This is what you need to get done. If you've been a graphic designer, of course, you can become a design VA or a brand management assistant. Or if you even have the copywriting skills for it, you can be a social media assistant where you are creating the content, managing the content of your clients. And if you've been an event coordinator, and a ton of our virtual assistants are the same, you can be an event planning VA where you're managing either webinars or seminars or actual events that your clients want to create. Let's say that's what they do every quarterly, every monthly. Or you could be a logistics coordinator of, let's say, that your client is trying to make a big event happen where you're inviting speakers, you're inviting facilitators, you're the one making it happen behind the scenes of managing the people and making sure that things actually happen as they should, answering questions for the people who are coming in to attend that event, and making sure that things happen as they should on the actual day. Again, just because you don't have experience directly as a virtual assistant doesn't mean that you shouldn't apply for a job as a virtual assistant, because your past experiences still gave you the skills to become a virtual assistant. So never discount yourself, never kind of try to take it lightly, like, oh, I don't have virtual assistant experience, but I've had like 6 years experience at this job. You probably have skills that can transfer into becoming a virtual assistant. You just never know. If you guys like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button right there. Comment below what past job do you have, and I'll let you know what kind of virtual assistant you can be. And if you still haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to have a business from home, which you guys can check out those two playlists right here and the latest video right here. Hope you guys have an amazing day, and with that, small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!